Welcome to the Big Four Accounting Firms podcast, brought to you by big4accountingfirms.com. If you enjoy our show, don't forget to help us out by subscribing to this podcast, sharing it with a friend, and providing us with a review on iTunes. Check out the show notes below for the link. Thanks, and enjoy the show.
Today I wanted to talk about what it is like to attend a Big Four conference. And the reason I wanted to discuss this is because a lot of the news and significant quotes coming out of accounting and the Big Four have been out of conferences. Going to conferences is a huge part of working at the Big Four and of working in business in general. As you move up in the Big Four, you go to more conferences in order to network, stay up to date on technical issues, and earn your CPEs for the year. So what's it like going to a conference? There are two types of conferences. Internal conferences, where you go to a conference related to activities of your firm, and external conferences, where clients are present. Both have similarities, but there are also some differences. Now, external conferences are ones with your clients, and obviously the conference with your clients involves a lot more selling than the internal conference. You don't really go to conferences with clients until later on in your career, and this will likely start happening to you once you reach the manager level at the Big Four. And the conferences usually relate to updates within your specific industry. For example, if you work in the real estate industry, you'll attend a real estate accounting conference or a real estate tax conference, depending on your specialty. Now, what happens at these conferences, you might ask? Well, they're usually training events during the day where the latest industry topics are discussed. Industry titans are usually the ones presenting about the latest developments, and many times regulators are present. Regulators are an important part of public accounting, so public accountants and clients want to know their thoughts on accounting and tax guidance. Those are just some of the differences of conferences of the Big Four, but what are the similarities between internal and external conferences? Well, you can expect the Big Four to pay for both conferences that you attend. This means that they will pay for your flight, hotel, and food during the conference. And the conferences are usually multiple day conferences too. If you live in a city like New York, then there's a chance that there will be conferences in your city because New York is big. But if you live and work in New York and the conference is held in New York, then your firm will obviously not pay for your flight or hotel. And big conferences don't normally happen in New York though, because there's limited hotel space at affordable prices. The convention centers of hotels in New York are also smaller than they are in other cities. You usually stay in large chain hotels with large convention centers when you attend these Big Four conferences. Think of a Marriott or a Hilton. And the first day of these events usually involve a plenary session or an opening session. And the first speaker that opens up the plenary session is usually someone very important. If the conference is internal, then it is usually the leader of the practice that is hosting the conference. And if it's external, it's usually a big person within the industry. Now, the other important things that happen at the Big Four conferences are networking events. And there are usually hosted networking dinners. If it is an internal conference, then you'll have dinners with members of your practice to catch up and network. The dinners are usually at fancy restaurants, and the partners pay for the bill, no matter how much fancy dinner, dessert, and drinks you order. If it is an external conference, then the big firms usually host dinners for clients, and the clients have to register for these dinners weeks or months in advance. And these dinners, since they involve clients, are at especially nice restaurants to develop good relationships with clients. Another type of networking that happens is at happy hours. After long days of technical updates, the partners like to unwind. Even if there was a dinner at night, they usually go out for drinks afterward and discuss what's going on in their personal lives. People really enjoy happy hours in the Big Four accounting firms, and these can go on for hours, even into the early hours of the morning. And many accounting firms host training for new hires at these types of conferences as well, but that depends on when you join the firm and whether they are doing budget cuts at the time. To learn more about what it's like to be an accountant, make sure to subscribe to this podcast. You can also ask us a question if you have one. Our contact info will be in the show notes.
We appreciate your help in growing this podcast so we can continue to bring you the best Big Four content possible. You could help us out by providing a review on iTunes, sending us an email with your comments, and don't forget to share with your friends. There's a link below in the show notes. That's our show for today. Thanks for listening and have a great day.